Hey Raiders fans, welcome back to another deep dive into everything happening with our Las Vegas Raiders as we approach the crucial offseason. We have a lot to unpack today, from quarterback targets to organizational moves, and want to take you through it all step by step. The landscape is changing rapidly, and if you thought the quarterback situation was settled, think again. With Geno Smith now clearly on his way out, the Raiders are officially entering a new era, and the decisions made in the next few months will define this team's trajectory for years to come. Let's start with the reality of the quarterback spot. Geno Smith's recent actions on social media didn't exactly come as a shock, but they confirmed what insiders have been hinting at for months. His departure is imminent. When a player deletes all traces of a team from their online presence, it's not a subtle message. It's a declaration. And while it can be frustrating for fans who hoped for stability at the position, it also clears the path for the Raiders to make a decisive move. The team can now focus entirely on securing the quarterback who will lead this franchise into the next chapter. Quarterback decisions are never simple, especially for a team with the #1 overall pick. The Raiders have to weigh multiple options, and this is where smart organizational strategy comes into play. Rigidly locking into a single choice without considering alternatives would be a mistake. History has shown that the most successful teams are those willing to evaluate every possibility, from trades to free agency signings to draft selections. The key is balance, knowing when to commit and when to stay flexible. For the Raiders, that flexibility starts at the quarterback position, where the right decision could transform the team immediately. Let's talk about potential candidates. Starting at number 5 on my list, Malik Willis could be an intriguing option. As a free agent, he presents an opportunity to bring in a quarterback with upside without sacrificing the first overall pick, which could be used to build around him. Willis has shown flashes of high-level play and could be a valuable piece for a team looking to combine a dynamic quarterback with a strong supporting cast. The investment would be significant, but the potential payoff is there, particularly if paired with a head coach who can maximize his abilities and integrate him into a cohesive offensive plan. Moving down the list, Jalen Milroe comes in at number 4. Milroe's appeal lies not just in his talent, but also in the context of team fit. With the Raiders reportedly interested in interviewing offensive-minded coaches like Clint Kubiak, Milroe could be the kind of quarterback who benefit from a system tailored to his strengths. While there may be concerns about his passing mechanics, his leadership and experience coming from a competitive college program make him a candidate worth exploring. A team built strategically around him, with complementary weapons and a system designed to emphasize his skills, could unlock his full potential. At number 3, Dante Moore from Oregon emerges as a strong contender. Moore's profile combines accuracy, football IQ, and the ability to operate within a structured offense. He is a pure passer whose ceiling may even surpass some of the other prospects under consideration, though his floor is arguably a bit riskier. If the Raiders were to move down in the draft, targeting Moore could make sense as part of a broader strategy to assemble talent around him, creating an offense capable of competing at a high level from day one. The question of whether he will declare for the draft or return to college adds a layer of uncertainty. But from a talent perspective, he's an option that cannot be overlooked. Number 2 on the list is Lamar Jackson. If circumstances align, acquiring Jackson would instantly elevate the Raiders' offense to elite status. A dual-threat quarterback of his caliber, particularly one with 2 NFL Most Valuable Player awards, changes everything. Pairing him with existing weapons like Ashton Gentry and Brock Bowers, while also maintaining a strong defensive core with players like Max Crosby, could make the Raiders instant playoff contenders. There are contractual and logistical hurdles, including no-trade clauses and team considerations, but the value of a quarterback like Jackson is undeniable. He represents the kind of transformative player who can shift a franchise's trajectory overnight. At the top of the list, however, is Fernando Mendoza. Mendoza represents the ideal combination of skill, leadership, and long-term potential. His college career showcased both accuracy and composure under pressure, traits that translate directly to success in the NFL. For a team like the Raiders, securing a franchise quarterback is about more than just immediate results. It is about building a foundation. Mendoza offers that foundation. With a quarterback like him, the Raiders can structure their offense to maximize the talents of players like Gentry and Bowers, while also attracting coaching talent capable of executing a modern, dynamic offensive scheme. He is the kind of player who can lead a team not just through a season, but across an entire era. The Raiders' history with the quarterback position has been turbulent. Since Jamarcus Russell, the team has struggled to find a player capable of combining talent, leadership, and durability. The importance of getting this right cannot be overstated. The right quarterback transforms every facet of a franchise, from coaching hires to free agent signings to overall team culture. A quarterback with Mendoza's profile provides both the skill set and the intangible leadership qualities necessary to turn the Raiders into a perennial contender, something that has eluded the franchise despite flashes of talent and potential. In evaluating all these options, one thing is clear. The Raiders need a quarterback who not only possesses the skills to succeed on the field, but also embodies the leadership and composure required to elevate the entire organization. Malik Willis offers upside and flexibility. Milroe brings leadership potential in the right system. Dante Moore combines pure passing ability with high ceiling potential. Lamar Jackson offers transformative impact, and Fernando Mendoza represents the complete package of talent, leadership, and long-term growth. For a team ready to make bold decisions, the path forward is to identify the quarterback who can be the cornerstone of the franchise and build everything else around him. Now that we've laid out the top quarterback targets, it's time to examine how the Raiders can build the rest of their team around whoever ends up under center. Securing a franchise quarterback is only the first step. The right offensive line, receiving core, and supporting skill players are all essential pieces of the puzzle. The Raiders have some exciting young talent, but gaps remain, and the next coaching staff will have to be strategic in how they assemble the roster. The decisions made in free agency, the draft, and in trades over the next few months will define whether this team competes immediately or continues to struggle for another season. Let's start with the offensive line because any quarterback, rookie, or veteran needs protection. The Raiders have invested in this area in the past, but injuries and inconsistent play have been ongoing issues. A franchise quarterback, especially someone like Mendoza or Moore, can only thrive if he has time to read the field and make decisions. Reinforcing the offensive line with experienced starters or high-upside draft picks will be essential. It's not just about filling positions. It's about building a unit capable of executing in both pass protection and run blocking. Without that foundation, even the most talented quarterback can struggle, and the team's offensive plan falls apart before it begins. The wide receiver group is another critical factor. The Raiders already have talent like Ashton Gentry and Brock Bowers, players who can change a game with their speed, athleticism, and playmaking ability. But to fully maximize a quarterback's potential, depth is key. A franchise quarterback needs multiple reliable targets to read defenses effectively, keep linebackers honest, and open space for the run game. Whether through draft picks, free agency, or trades, bolstering the receiving core ensures that the quarterback is never forced to rely on a single weapon. It also provides the flexibility to adjust the offensive scheme depending on the opponent, creating a more dynamic and unpredictable attack. Running backs are just as important, particularly for quarterbacks who thrive in a balanced offense. A strong, versatile running back not only keeps defenses honest, but also creates opportunities for play-action passes and misdirection, which are crucial for quarterbacks like Mendoza and Jackson who excel at reading the field and reacting quickly. The Raiders will need to evaluate their current options and consider bringing in a back who complements the quarterback style. Speed, vision, and pass-catching ability from the backfield can turn an already talented offense into one that consistently keeps defenses off balance, allowing the quarterback to dictate the pace of the game. Coaching is the next piece of the puzzle. A quarterback can only be as successful as the system around him. That's why the Raiders' pursuit of offensive-minded coaches, including candidates like Clint Kubiak, makes so much sense. These coaches bring schemes that can highlight a quarterback's strengths while mitigating weaknesses. They understand the nuances of game planning, play design, and in-game adjustments, all of which are critical for a quarterback who may still be developing at the NFL level. The right coach can accelerate a rookie's growth or revitalize a veteran's career, creating a cohesive offensive identity that extends across the entire roster. Defensively, the Raiders have made some progress with players like Max Crosby, but depth across the defensive line and secondary remains a priority. A strong defense complements an offensive strategy by giving the quarterback confidence and allowing the team to control the tempo. High-pressure defensive schemes can also create turnovers that shift momentum, making the job of the quarterback less about miraculous plays and more about executing a structured game plan. Balancing investment between offense and defense will be critical, particularly as the Raiders work to establish a team that can sustain success over multiple seasons rather than relying on short-term fixes. Trades and draft strategy will play a huge role in shaping this roster. The team has the number 1 overall pick, but flexibility to move up or down, acquire additional selections, or target specific players in free agency is essential. Whether the Raiders focus on a quarterback, a wide receiver, or a cornerstone offensive lineman, each decision affects the entire roster. A well-structured draft plan paired with calculated trades can allow the Raiders to fill multiple needs simultaneously, building a roster that is both deep and talented enough to compete immediately while maintaining long-term sustainability. Now, let's circle back to the quarterback conversation because it drives nearly every decision the Raiders make. A franchise quarterback affects everything from play calling and offensive philosophy to draft priorities and coaching hires. Choosing the right player, whether it's Mendoza, Moore, Jackson, or even someone acquired through trade or free agency, sets the tone for the entire organization. This is not just about who can throw the ball. It's about leadership, poise under pressure, and the ability to elevate everyone around him. The Raiders have struggled in recent years without that kind of presence, and securing it should be their top priority in the offseason. Equally important is the supporting cast's ability to adapt to the quarterback's skill set. A quarterback like Mendoza, who is accurate and composed, benefits from a team built for precision. Receivers who can create separation, linemen who sustain protection, and a coach who designs plays to exploit defensive weaknesses. Conversely, a quarterback like Jackson, who is a dual threat, requires a team built for speed, misdirection, and explosive playmaking. The flexibility to adjust the roster to fit the quarterback, rather than forcing the quarterback to fit the roster, is what separates good teams from elite ones. The Raiders have an opportunity to approach this intelligently and strategically, rather than reacting hastily to immediate pressures. Finally, the mental and cultural aspect cannot be overstated. Bringing in a franchise quarterback is also about mindset. A quarterback who can inspire confidence, hold teammates accountable, and maintain composure under stress establishes a culture of professionalism and accountability. This cultural influence affects practice habits, locker room dynamics, and, ultimately, how the team performs in high-pressure situations. For a team like the Raiders, which has struggled with consistency and leadership, this cultural shift could be as important as the physical talent of the quarterback. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The NFL rumor mill was shaken to its core after whispers began circulating around the league that Khalil Mack may have reached a stunning agreement with the Raiders. While nothing has been officially confirmed, multiple sources close to the situation suggest that the franchise and the star edge rusher have quietly aligned on a deal that would mark one of the most unexpected reunions in recent football memory. For Raiders fans, the mere possibility feels almost surreal. Mack's history with the organization adds fuel to the speculation. Once the face of the Raiders' defense, his departure years ago symbolized the end of an era and the beginning of a long rebuild. Now, insiders claim that conversations intensified behind closed doors, driven by mutual interest and a shared sense of unfinished business. The idea of Mack returning to a familiar locker room has quickly ignited debate across league circles. According to people familiar with the negotiations, the Raiders see Mack not only as a pass-rushing force, but as a cultural reset. His leadership, experience, and relentless style of play are viewed as assets that could instantly elevate a defense searching for identity. From Mack's perspective, sources hint that the opportunity to return to a city where his career truly took off carries emotional weight, especially at this stage of his journey. Skeptics point out salary cap concerns and question whether the move is financially realistic, yet optimism continues to grow. Some believe creative structuring and shared urgency could make the deal viable. Others see this as a calculated gamble by a franchise eager to send a bold message to the league. Until official word emerges, the speculation will only intensify. Whether this rumor becomes reality or fades into off-season folklore, one thing is certain. The mere suggestion of KHALIL Mack back in Raiders colors has already captured the imagination of fans and analysts alike, proving that in football, some stories never truly end. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.